We are live from the ASRC on the campus of West Liberty University in beautiful West Liberty, West Virginia. Thank you for joining us on Topper Station. It is time for Game 2 of the 2025 NCAA D2 Men's Basketball Atlantic Region Championship. I am Todd Allum. Joining me, former Hilltopper Chaz Hines. This is going to be a little bit different pace than the first game we had today between Virginia State and Westchester. Both of these teams like to run.
Yeah, it's going to be a very high-action, high-paced game. Both teams shoot a lot of threes, get up and down. It's going to be end-to-end all game long, so excited to see what this one brings us.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one today, absolutely. Both of these teams have been in the Atlantic Region Championships before. East Stroudsburg, it seems like they're in it just about every single year. It's another one of those places I've been to that has hosted an Atlantic Region Championship. For Gannon, they hosted it last year. They actually won the region championship last season, and now they're back here at West Liberty to see how it goes this year. They're going to have to take on the only matchup today that is interconference, the two PSAC teams playing each other. Everyone else gets to play someone from out of conference. These two teams, no such luck. But it still should be a good one. We know how PSAC basketball goes. It's quality from top to bottom. And this one is going to be a very, very fun basketball game this afternoon.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll be very high action. I think it's going to be everything you want to see when you're watching a basketball game. So, you know, from a commentary standpoint, I'm really excited. I think we'll be able to watch some really good basketball. We have a great view to it as well. Gannon comes in averaging 90 points per game. Top 10 in points per game scored per game. They're shooting 45%, 35%, 71%, so not up to the usual standard that they were last year, but nevertheless coming in as the 2 seed, PSAC champs, defending champs for the Atlantic region. You know, I think they got a big target on their back, and East Stroudsburg very familiar with them. I think it'll be a very entertaining game.
I believe so as well. It is time for starters here at the ASRC. And the way we do starters, they go interchanging back and forth, and we will begin with the lower-seeded East Stroudsburg, number 7 in this Atlantic region, Gannon at number 2. And both of these teams earning their way here throughout the season in a good year. It's going to end for someone here at West Liberty. Well, we begin with East Stroudsburg. Number 0, a 6'4" guard, redshirt freshman out of Trenton, New Jersey, Terrell Pitts. For Gannon, number 4, a 6'5" guard, sophomore out of Philadelphia, Ernest Shelton. For East Stroudsburg, number 1, a 6'7" forward, sophomore out of East Brunswick, New Jersey, Jalen Pichardo. For Gannon, a 6'1" guard, graduate out of Broward County, Florida, number 5, Justin DeBuck. For East Stroudsburg, number 11, a 6'1" junior guard from Reiner, Virginia, Ethan Millirons. For Gannon, number 15, a 6'7" junior from Wisconsin, Victor Desmond. For East Stroudsburg, number 13, a 6'2" freshman guard from Matthews, North Carolina, Evan Morton. For Gannon, number 22, a 6'2" freshman guard from Berlin, PA, Pace Prosser. Number 22 for East Stroudsburg, a 6'9" forward sophomore, Carson Howard. And number 23 for Gannon, a 6'9" forward sophomore from Sydney, Australia, Tasman Goodrick. And with that, we've got our sideline reporter, Caden Bednarik, with the hit. Caden, take it away.
We're on to the second game of the NCAA Division II Men's Basketball Atlantic Regional Championship, where we will now see Gannon University Golden Knights face off against the East Stroudsburg University Warriors. These two teams have been battling it out for decades, with Gannon holding a slight edge in the all-time series 12-10. This is the 23rd meeting for these two teams. Their last game earlier this season took place on November 23rd, 2024 in Erie, PA, when Gannon University kept their win at home 105-93. A long-running rivalry between the teams will be sure to lead to an eventful game.
Thank you for that info, Caden, and we're going to have re-jump ball this. If we missed it, we're going to watch it again.
Here we go.
It's going to be Pace Prosser taking on Terrell Pitts. Gannon is going to win the opening tip. And Virginia State won game 1 against Westchester 80-64. So they move on to the semifinal game tomorrow night at 5 p.m. And the winner of this one will take on Virginia State. Stroudsburg forcing turnovers. Bounce pass. Shot is blocked. And possession is going to stay with Stroudsburg, though. Goodrick with the block there. Underneath. Trying to get it again. No good on the reverse. Ball is loose. Taken by the Warriors. Plenty of time on the shot clock at 16 seconds.
Both teams expected to be pretty perimeter focused. Polar opposites of what we watched here in game 1 where they were trying to pound it inside.
Milirons doesn't notice the shot clock, and it'll go. Turnover forced by Gannon. That'll bring this one up the floor. This is Prosser, quickly over. Shelton, mid-range, no good, too long. Goodrick the board, kicks it back out. Shelton again will try to go baseline, spinning. Ball through the hands of Goodrick, finds Prosser, bounce pass, and the bucket is good for DeBuck.
Yeah, Gannon's going to be in pressure defense all game long. Already forcing a timeout early on. East Stroudsburg just not really awake right now, not breaking for the ball. Could be costly later on in this game, later on in this half.
Head coach of East Stroudsburg, Jeff Wilson, his 22nd year. He's done a tremendous job. Again, East Stroudsburg hosted the Atlantic Regional around a decade or so ago. Gannon hosted it last season. Their head coach, Easton Bozzoli. Last year, their head coach was Jordan Fee, formerly of the West Liberty Parish. Now both teams back out on the floor. 2-0 so far in favor of Gannon. The pressure has been stout.
Yeah, early on, just honestly nitpicking the introductions. Just East Stroudsburg's guys were kind of just walking around and very nonchalant about the whole thing. And
oh, misses the dunk after the steal. How does that happen? Shelton could not slam that one down.
But like I was saying, very nonchalant, and it kind of showing early on. A little sluggish start. See if they can settle down into this ball game.
Pitts tries to go baseline, does. Bounce pass off the mark, taken by Gannon. Here comes DeBuck. Quickly up for Shelton. Gets through the lane. Right hand, no good, but he's fouled. They called a foul on Carson Howard, his first, team first. And set to come in for East Stroudsburg, number 2, a 6'6" forward, redshirt senior out of Philadelphia, PA. Lakeem McAlilly, 6'6", 235. That sounds more like football than basketball, but Gannon makes some substitutions as well.
Yeah, Gannon's going to go 5 in, 5 out, high pressure, high intensity, high energy. Just going to try and wear East Stroudsburg down all game long. Earlier this year, Gannon was able to defeat East Stroudsburg 105-93. So as we previously mentioned, these teams are very familiar with each other, being in the same conference, very familiar with each other's style of plays. Nobody's really going to surprise them this game. Any style of play shouldn't surprise them. So interested to see how this plays out.
Gannon wanted a call on McAlily for the double dribble, didn't get it. Mill irons to McAlily. Now it's Pitts. Back to Morton. He drives right side of the lane, puts it up, off the glass, gets the roll. Cuts the lead in half. Quickly up, this is Sarver. Sakasi will set it up in the half court. Kemp at the elbow.
Looks like they're running some flex right now. Just basic flex. East Stroudsburg doing a good job being in the passing lanes.
Sarver loses it to McAlily in the bucket for Pichardo. Quickly up, Bennett. Kicks it back. Three-pointer for Sakasi. Sakasi, no good. Rebound. Oh, they're going to say he stepped right on the line. Ethan Millirons. And possession's going to go right back to Gannon. Cam Young into this game for Terrell Pitts. It'll be Bennett to throw it in from the sideline for Gannon.
Hands up, Black. Hands up, Black. Hands up.
Morabito, number 14 for Gannon. Handling this one. It's back over to Sarver. Now the drive for Bennett. Dish inside. Offensive foul called on Bennett. McAlily draws that one.
Yeah, that's really good heads-up play right there. I mean, I didn't even really see that, and he's sitting right there knowing the drive's coming off help side. Usually is a big too. You don't see that a lot. Taking the charge, really heads-up play, and really impressive there early on from East Stroudsburg's defense.
Millirons trying to get across half court, does. Gets across the timeline. McAlily drives right side. Going to be fouled on his way to the bucket. They give this one to Lane Sarver. His first, second team foul, and McAlily looks to give Stroudsburg their first lead of the game. First one is good. Starters back in for Gannon. Some substitutions for East Stroudsburg. Shamar Wilbanks into the game along with Jaden Kelly. And also Nasir Griffin.
22.
McAlily hits it.
Both teams in this full court pressure. Welcome sight, honestly, after the slow pace game we saw earlier today. We get the exact opposite.
Three-point shot, no good for Shelton. Rebounded by Cam Young.
We're going to have to go here. 4 seconds. I get it across.
Young looking. McAlily puts up a deep three. Can't get it to fall. Fighting for that rebound. Last touched by Gannon. Possession back to Stroudsburg.
Yeah, earlier I said Stroudsburg looked a little sleepy. They definitely are up for this one now. They got a couple rotations in from guys off the bench. Look like they got a lot of energy. Like I've said, these people are very familiar with each other. Stroudsburg losing that one earlier this year. You know they want to get this one.
Wilbanks straight away hits a big three. 9-4 in favor of Stroudsburg. In transition, going to be fouled. That will send Goodrick to the line. And I believe that foul goes against Jaden Kelly with the stoppage. It'll be a media timeout. We will take the break. Stroudsburg up 9-4 early in this one on Topper Station. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the ASRC. It's still early on here, 15:52 left to play in the first half, but East Stroudsburg, the 7 seed, with a 5-point lead over the 2 seed Gannon. And Gannon has brought a good crowd with them here at the ASRC. Stroudsburg as well. And it's Goodrick at the free throw line after getting fouled on an attempt in transition.
Yeah, Gannon just needs to settle down a little bit into this ball game. Just shooting 20%, 1 of 5 to start. So getting to see these free throws go in. Got their starting lineup back out there. I think head coach over here, he's thinking that he's got the right guys and he's got his team where he wants. Haven't came out great. They're only down 4, possibly 3. This pressure defense can really, as we've seen all year, this pressure defense can really just turn the game on its head very quickly.
Absolutely so. We've been seeing that for quite some time. And again, the coach last year of Gannon, Jordan Fee, had his ties as a player here at West Liberty under Coach Jim Crutchfield, then down at Nova Southeastern as an assistant coach as well. Came up to Gannon to be the head coach as that block out of bounds. Possession stays with Gannon.
The only thing I have noted early on is you can tell East Stroudsburg really does want this game. They're communicating very aggressively, I guess you could say, back and forth with one another over there, and they're up 5. So it's important for them to stay level-headed because when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and that's a great pass.
McAlily up for the dunk was Cam Young.
And that was an incredible outlet pass right there.
Prosser's 3, can't get it to go. Rebounded, no good on the tip in either. Last touched by Stroudsburg. Possession stays with Gannon, but Gannon has that 13-6 lead.
East Stroudsburg came to play. I can tell you one thing. They remember that loss they had earlier this year. They're coming out hot. They're coming out ready to go.
DeBuck finds Prosser. Goes baseline jumper. No good. Tipped around. Taken by Stroudsburg. Quickly up, Shamar Wilbanks. He's working against Desmond. Wilbanks 3 off the mark. Going to be taken by Goodrick. Here comes Gannon once again. 3-pointer in transition. No good. Rims out. Some physicality down there. Ball is still loose. Gannon comes up with it. 3-pointer again, no good. Tipped back. How many times is Shelton going to get an opportunity? Dishes this one off. No good either. And now a foul against Gannon. They give this to Goodrick.
That's a welcome sight, though. I mean, that's a bunch of offensive rebounds, a bunch of chances.
It makes it fun for the fans at home to watch, too. Maybe not if you're a fan of either one of these teams. It might be a little more nerve-wracking. But if you're just a fan of basketball in general, this is a game you want to watch.
Yeah, and it's no slight to the game before, but, I mean, this game is just very action-packed, and you blink and you miss something sort of game.
Just differing styles.
Oh, yeah, and it's this is what we're accustomed here. The locals here are accustomed to it. So if you're just a fan of basketball, you're enjoying this game. And with the history Gannon has last year, it's very interesting to see, how they handle this game. Because last year when they were Atlantic Region champions, they did it on their home floor, which is always easier. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this, being the defending champs, not in their own arena, and somewhere they've never played before. The ball's really aired up. They aren't used to these rims, this lighting. They've only had an hour shoot-around and one practice, so a lot of things that are different for them than they were last year, where they were able to be really comfortable. Be interested to see how this goes.
Foul going to be called on Gannon. This will go against Justin DeBuck, the graduate guard. It'll be his first, team 4th. And to the line is Nasir Griffin, the 6'8" junior forward from Philadelphia. First one is good for Griffin. Set to come back in, and he is. Number 22, Carson Howard, one of the starters for East Stroudsburg. Catching a breather, Lakeem McAlily.
There's just a bunch of really good individual players here, a bunch of first-team players. We got Defensive Player of the Years. We got second-team players, tournament MVPs. We got Freshman of the Years. a bunch of great individual talent that make two really good teams out here right now.
Shelton throws this pass out of bounds. Possession goes back to East Stroudsburg. Subbing back in for the Warriors is Jalen Pichardo. Morton down to Cam Young. Back out. Kelly can't hit this three. Prosser gets the rebound. Here come Gannon. Up. Shot is blocked. Still loose. Fighting for it. And now a foul going to be called against Gannon. They give this one to Victor Desmond, the 6'7" junior. Substitutions for both teams again, and folks, there's so many of them.
Constant.
Yeah, losing track a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I am not the one working the scoreboard today.
Yeah, there's a reason there's about 4 of them over there to our left. They knew what they were getting into with a couple of these teams here today.
Lobs this one up. Double team, finally got away from some pressure. Cam Young takes over. Young makes a little move, loses it, gets it back, puts up the jumper, can't get it to go. Rebound for Gannon.
Yeah, it's a bit of an ugly possession there for Gannon. East Stroudsburg, excuse me.
Sakasi's pass is off the mark. Prosser zigged when he thought he was going to zag, and sure enough, it is another turnover.
Bit of a scoring drought here for Gannon. It's been a while for them to see the ball go in. Got to credit East Stroudsburg. I mean, there's a reason why they have the Defensive Player of the Year, but both teams are just really flying around, playing above the rim. It's been very all over the place early on, and like you said, I feel bad for the scorekeepers over there. I mean, they got their work cut out for them today.
Morton for Stroudsburg got his shot blocked out of bounds. Possession stays with Stroudsburg, 26 on the shot clock, and it's getting physical out there.
Yeah, two PSAC teams, pretty much known for a physical conference. Two very contrasting style of plays compared to all the other PSAC schools, but they keep that similarity in the physicality standpoint.
Shot is going to be blocked, but right to a fellow Warrior. Down low, Morton. Deep three, gets it to go. Flying up the floor, Prosser. Passes, three-point shot, answers right back for Gannon. Give that bucket to Lance Sarver.
Yeah, Pace Proser, he did a great job at attacking that, getting to the middle of the lane and finding that cross-court pass to a wide-open shooter. It's a really good play from him.
Morton, another three, banks it in. Prosser quickly up. With Sakasi. Left side for Shelton. They're going to call the foul. It will go against number 11, Ethan Millirons, 6'1" junior guard of East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, Gannon's got to be careful here. We saw this in the first game. You don't want to get down too much to where it makes that comeback harder than it needs to be. East Stroudsburg is a team who's very comfortable slowing the game down too in the half-court setting. So right now, everything up East Stroudsburg's way. Gannon's going to have to respond here to get this one closer.
Cross-court pass, Sarver. Back over to DeBuck.
It's a great pass.
Desmond hits a big three. They needed that one, did Gannon.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg didn't do themselves a favor there. Gambled on a steal. Ended up giving a 4-on-5, and Gannon doing what good teams do. They made him pay for it.
Morton lost that one, but he was fouled. With that stoppage in play, it'll be a media timeout. We will take the break as well. East Stroudsburg, the 7 seed, up 21-12 over 2 seed Gannon. And we'll be right back on Topper Station.
Virginia State University. Your pathway to greater happens here. Greater academics. Greater access. Greater faculty. Greater opportunities. Greater experiences and campus energy. Why go anywhere else? Virginia State University. Greater happens here.
The NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, these great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
And welcome back to the ASRC. 21-12 in favor of the 7 seed East Stroudsburg over the 2 seed Gannon. As we're taking a look at some of the commercials being played here inside the ASRC, they're talking about NCAA Division II national championships in all different sports, but reminded me the wrestling Division II national championships going on right now. Good luck to all those wrestlers from all the different schools. McAlilly, low post, fade away, can't get it to go. Goodrick, the rebound. Prosser, cross court, gets this one to Shelton. And down to DeBuck. Drive, kicks it back. Desmond to Goodrick, no good on the jumper. This one rebounded by Evan Morton. Quickly up, almost thrown away. Terrell Pitts able to save that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see Desmond fire another three right there. He looked like he had some space. He had a smaller defender on him closing out after he just hit one. Looks like a pretty good shooter. Honestly surprised we didn't see him fire another one up right there.
Morton spinning in the lane. McAlilly's three off the mark, but an offensive board. Here comes Stroudsburg again. Now they're going to call a foul on Gannon. They call this one on Justin DeBuck. It'll be his third, team 7th. So DeBuck, and again, style of play, a lot of players subbing in and out throughout, but DeBuck is a starter. He's got his third foul, 11 minutes left to play in the first half. Pichardo's first attempt is good. Mason Bennett back into the ball game for Gannon, taking the place of Justin DeBuck.
Yeah, looking at some of the stats here, big fan of the plus minus. I just like it because it tells you how beneficial or non-beneficial you are when you're out there for your team. And Gannon is yet to have a single player in the positive plus minus, while East Stroudsburg just has one player in the negative plus minus. Pretty big story right now, and there's a reason why East Stroudsburg has the lead it has.
McAlilly trying to use his power, doesn't go that time, as Victor Desmond was there for the defense. Goodrick dishes to Prosser, trying to make it 2 possessions in a row, and they make sure he pays for that attempt. McAlilly with a strong physical play there, but he causes a foul.
Yeah, Prosser picking up where he left off from the PSAC MVP. He was also second team all PSAC, really good player, really smart player. Does a lot of the little things too, and he never tries to do too much. Not trying to make plays he doesn't know how to make. Perfect player for this sort of system.
First bucket is good. Pichardo picks up his first. Team 4th. Substitutions. Back in is number 24, Nasir Griffin. Prosser hits both. Now substitutions. Shelton will catch a breather as back in is Lane Sarver. Milirons throws it in. Trapped in the corner. Now a bump there from Bennett, and I believe they give possession to Gannon.
Yeah, if you're East Stroudsburg, they threw it in, and the guy who threw it in, he immediately ran away. I mean, you cannot do that. That is the last thing you can do, is leave your guy to deal with the double team. You don't even do that in a half-court setting. Why would you do that in a full-court setting? East Stroudsburg's got to be a little bit better, getting a little sloppy handling this pressure right now.
Sarver kicks it back over for Prosser. Can't get the three. McAlilly gets the rebound, stripped away. Goodrick comes up with it. He gets the two-handed jam. Morton trying to beat the press. Does. Splits the double team. Millirons can't get it to go. A little too long on the 3, and now they say last touch by Gannon, and the Gannon crowd not happy at all. So possession stays with East Stroudsburg. It is now a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, ever since I said Gannon can't get too far in a hole, they've really kind of stormed back and made this a close ball game. All the momentum seems to be going the way with the guys in jersey and white. We'll see how this goes, though. Just airballed one. Tough shooting day so far for that kid. Looks like he has a good stroke on him, though, so I think he's going to keep shooting. They need him to shoot against this kind of defense and make those.
Now Gannon sets up in the half court. Kicks inside. It's Bennett looking for somewhere to go. Hands it off to Prosser. Puts up a deep 3. No good. Tipped around. Taken by McAlily. Quickly back up. Cam Young. Dunks it. Highlight reel.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg's doing a really good job at leaking somebody out on these rebounds. Getting easy transition buckets that way. Can't leave him open. He's just hit one.
Another 3-pointer, this time off the mark. McAlily gets another rebound, splits a double team. Tries to get through the paint, but Bennett is right there.
Yeah, he's just doing a bit too much right there.
Goodrick, offensive foul. And a good job for Nasir Griffin, but he hit the floor and he's hurting a little bit. Substitution is into the game for East Stroudsburg. The number 10, Mike Ramos. His first appearance today.
Yeah, for East Stroudsburg, the best way to go about this is as soon as you get it in, you throw this guy inbounding the ball right up through the middle because this guy's going to trap more times than not. Multiple times now we've seen their guy run away. It's not really what you want to do for East Stroudsburg, but they get through it that time. Something to note, though, as this game develops.
Morton directing traffic for the Warriors. Tries to drive. Bennett right there in his face. Puts up the jumper. No good. Tipped around. Last touched by the Warriors. Gannon takes over possession.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a really tough shot. You know, freshman of the year, Evan Morton, but, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Pump faking, shooting a contested jump shot. It's too big of a game to be doing silly stuff like that where every possession is really going to make a difference. Sometimes it's hard for these freshmen who are just coming really just a year out of playing high school playoff basketball where there's not a lot of guys who they're probably playing or even standing a chance in this kind of pressure. Complete 180 difference for these guys that they're just going to have to learn the hard way more times than not.
Sakasi bringing this one up for Gannon. Has to dish it back to Bennett. Thought about the shot. Puts it up from the free throw line. No good. Can't get the rebound. Here comes Stroudsburg.
Yeah, good decision there. Pulling it out, settling it down.
Straightaway 3. Banks in for the second time. Nasir Griffin.
Yeah, banked in a couple threes right now. Being a team like Gannon, it's kind of a little demoralizing because if you see teams hitting shots like that on you, it's a little bit of a gut punch because putting in all this work to see him banking a 3 is always tough.
9-point ball game, missed the 3. Now they're going to call the foul on East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, Mason Kemp did a really good job there being aggressive, coming down with that. Almost traveled, but was able to pass the ball and draw the foul.
They call the foul on Mike Ramos with that stoppage in play. It'll be the media timeout. We will take a break. 27-18 in favor of East Stroudsburg. We'll be right back on Topper Station. welcome back to the ASRC. Gannon down by 9, 27-18, with East Stroudsburg having the lead as the 7 seed in this Atlantic Region tournament.
Yeah.
Gannon as the 2 seed. Just trying to find their legs here, trying to get something going, but Stroudsburg has come out ready. They've stayed ready and continue to hold on to this lead.
Yeah, they have. And Gannon playing the style of play where 5 in, 5 out, you rely so heavily on your bench. Right now, bench being outscored by 13 points, differential 16-3 in East Stroudsburg's favor. If you're Gannon, you need that to change. You need more out of these bench players. You cannot rely on this style of play for your starters to be all the scoring offensively and giving so much defensively as well.
A deep 3 off the mark, but had to be shot because of the shot clock. The Warriors trying to beat the press. They do. Cam Young makes a little move, gets into the paint, puts it up, reverse, and good. Bennett for Gannon. Right down center avenue, gets the bucket, and one coming up for Bennett. They give the foul to number 10, Mike Ramos, his second. Hasn't been in the game all that long and picked up his second personal.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, too, to be injected into this game a little bit halfway through the first and just be thrown into this intense pace.
And jump ball is called. Possession will stay with East Stroudsburg.
East Stroudsburg can't get too comfortable here. Gannon's just creeping ever so slightly back in this game, keeping it around this 8 to 9 point differential where earlier it was 13. You know, East Stroudsburg going against Gannon, they know these guys, but they should know how quickly Gannon can flip this game. They're doing a great job.
Almost tipped that pass away. Stroudsburg keeps control. Ramos from the corner, can't get the 3. Offensive board. And now they call the foul on Nasir Griffin of East Stroudsburg. And with that foul,
that's a tough foul, 94 feet away from the basket. Yeah, putting them into the 1-and-1. Ernest Shelton, too, one of their better players, getting to see a few go in. He struggled to hit some threes earlier. I jinxed him right there. Oh, wow, and they're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, missed the front end. 20 goes on the shot clock as the rebound for Ramos not go the way he wanted to. In fact, it went out of bounds. Possession back to Gannon. Substitutions for Gannon. Golden Knights. Victor Desmond back into the ball game. Prosser, mid-range, puts it up, off the glass, no good, gets an offensive board, puts this one up, and it does go. He's up to 4 points.
Yeah, Prosser's done a really good job just having a nose for the ball, getting some steals, getting some offensive rebounds, couple buckets, good pass. You know, he is a system player for this kind of style, and he's showing it why today.
Will Banks will set things up here in the half court. 15 to shoot for East Stroudsburg. Prosser right on him. Now it's Ramos. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
There we got 5 seconds left. They're going to have to get a shot up here soon. I don't know if
Ramos
they see it.
Loses it almost backcourt. 1. Gets the shot off, and that will be a shot clock violation. Possession goes back to Gannon. It's Ramos and Carson Howard catch a breather. So will Shamar Wilbanks back into the ball game. Got Evan Morton, McAlilly, and I believe, yes, it will be Ethan Millirons. DeBuck dishes this one off to Prosser. Goodrick, top of the key. Working against McAlilly. Hands the one off. DeBuck now puts up the jumper. No good. Airballed. Last touched, they say, by East Stroudsburg, and possession stays with Gannon. 11 to shoot. DeBuck will throw it in from the baseline. Lobs this one in. Desmond to Goodrick. 5 on the shot clock. McAlilly hits the floor, bounces around, and gets the bucket.
It's the friendly bounce.
No shot, they say. They're calling the travel on East Stroudsburg. Now substitutions. Cam Young back in for the Warriors. And Gannon is coming back, down by 5. Their crowd is letting everybody hear it here at the ASRC.
Yeah, both crowds just really lively. They traveled well, making a whole bunch of noise. A lot louder than that 11:30 crowd, but hey, I can't really blame them. They probably haven't been to an 11:30 game since AAU days.
Yes. Goodrick through the paint, no good. Tipped around. Gannon's going to come up with it, though. Now it's stolen away by the Warriors.
Got numbers here.
Young looking for somewhere, finds Morton. Millirons down low. Pichardo. Back to McAlilly, makes a little move, gets into the paint. Reverse, no good, gets his own rebound. Putback does go. McAlilly with 6 points in the game.
Both of these teams just extremely scrappy.
Prosser spinning this way and that throughout the entire length of the floor. Gets the bucket. Timeout, Gannon. And with that timeout, it will be immediate timeout. A 5-point ball game. Gannon starting to come back. 31-26. We'll be right back on Topper Station.
What is Gannon?
A place where you are transformed.
Where you can find yourself and define who you want to become.
A university grounded on faith and inclusiveness.
That values your well-being and growth.
Forming a family inspired by global connections.
A community that builds on our traditions with a vision for the future.
That believes in the possibilities.
And more importantly, believes in you.
This is Gannon.
This is Gannon.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
Welcome back to the ASRC. 4:26 left to play in this opening half. It has been a very entertaining one, back and forth. Gannon is starting to come back. They've had some big leads as East Stroudsburg led by 12 at one point. Now it's down to 5 with 4.5 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, I think if you're Gannon, you're taking this only being down 5. You're shooting 20% from the field, 5 of 25, 2 of 12 from 3. They are 6 of 6 from the line, which has kept them in here, converting on those free chances. But if you tell their coach you're going to shoot 20% from the field and 16 from the 3 and only be down 5 almost into halftime, I think he takes it.
Yeah. Stroudsburg misses on that 3. Rebound by Goodrick of Gannon. Prosser dishes this one off to Desmond. Prosser again loses it. McAlilly comes up with it. 4 minutes left. McAlilly makes a little move. Can't get it to fall, but he is fouled, and he will shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a lot to handle coming at you in transition. You don't really want to take a charge on that, and all you can do is stay straight up, but he's a player who just really does a good job of absorbing and going through all the contact and makes it really hard to not foul.
Good on the first for McAlilly. They give that foul to Victor Desmond, his second, team 9th.
What makes it even harder, too, is when he gets to the foul line, he has a good stroke. He's converting on these free throws. You know, usually some people who are built his size and stature, they could struggle at the free throw line, but He's converted now 4-4. Makes it really tough because you can't bail him out by just fouling him and sending him to the line, because if you do foul the guy, he can get an and one because he's strong enough, and then he can also go and convert the free throws. So really tough matchup for a smaller team like Gannon, who needs skinnier, not so built guys so they can get up and down the floor at a speed like nobody else. So it's really interesting to just see how he matches up with them, Todd.
The dish inside, Goodrich's there, no good. Gets his own offensive board. That one doesn't go, but he is fouled by McAlily. It'll be McAlily's first. Team 8th.
Yeah, I think the only thing stopping him today will be himself if he gets into foul trouble. He's been a lot to handle for this Gannon defense so far.
Tasman Goodrich no good on the first attempt. And a substitution, number 24, Nasir Griffin, back into the ball game for Jalen Pichardo. Goodrich hits the second.
Oh, they got him deep, yeah.
McAlily was almost wide open, loses this one. They say last touch by McAlily, and he's not putting up much of an argument. Gannon gets possession back just like that.
Yeah, it's a couple times now he's caught it and tried to put the ball on the floor. Right there more than any. It is very tempting too, but you know, he's done that twice now, 2 turnovers. You'd like to see from a coaching standpoint, you'd like to see him learn from that and just stop dribbling.
Bennett and McAlily collide. McAlily picks up his second foul very quickly. Both teams have 9 fouls now. And McAlily might have to come out with 2 fouls this late in the first half.
Yeah, luckily just being 3.5 left shouldn't hurt them too much. Hopefully that's not the curse right there. I just lay it on him, but he's been a real presence inside for those guys, and he's been quite of a bailout for him too at times with his ability to get to the foul line. East Stroudsburg, though, still has freshman of the year out there and some other pieces. Let's see if they can withstand this late Gannon push going into halftime, keep this lead.
So Bennett hits the first. Second one good as well. 33-29 is the score. 4-point ball game.
Oh,
pass
boy.
is going to be stolen. Sarver came up with that one. Bennett trying to make a move on the block. Now the drive here goes baseline underneath
not
the
a lot
buckets.
down there. That's a great pass.
Foul going to be called against the Warriors.
A little bit of a bailout there. I mean, Tasman going up and 3 guys kind of leaning away. Just kind of a needless swipe down there from the East Stroudsburg defense. Gannon going on this run right now. Last thing you want to do is put one of their better players back at the line to find a stroke.
Goodrich short on his first.
East Stroudsburg fans not too happy about that call, but if they were to be able to see the replay, it was pretty clear as day. Swipe down right there from number 12, I believe. And, you know, the referees are going to call a swipe down any day of the week. So good call there by the officials. Goes 0 for
2 on that one. Cam Young gets the rebound, double teamed. Stroudsburg looking to beat the press. Bennett pokes it away. They've got 1 second. And
10.
They make the 10-second call. Gannon, the pressure works. Bennett catches a breather as Prosser is back into the game.
Yeah, Sub and Posner in for an offense right here. It wouldn't be surprised if they went right at him. Give him the ball. He's been really effective getting to the lane. They got their best shooter spotted up opposite corner.
Sakasi to throw it in from the sideline. Bounce pass. Finds Goodrich. Going to be fouled. They give this one to Ethan Milirons. That'll be his second. 10th team foul. So Gannon is now into the double bonus.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg doing a really poor job these last few minutes, just putting him at the line. Tasman, though, I think he's 0 for his last 3. He's really struggled at the foul line. So, you know, in hindsight, it's not been the worst fouling because he's not been able to convert at the line.
Hits this one. Is Bennett back in, taking the place of Justin DeBuck.
Yeah, Bennett looks like a really good press guy, really good system guy. We see a lot of those kind of guys here at West Lib, just flying around, smaller, lower to the ground. He's just a little gnat in your ear that just doesn't go away. Gannon gives away a cheap one right there, though, going to send East Stroudsburg to the line.
Yeah, Lucas Sakasi picks up his first 10th team foul, so both teams now in the double bonus for the remainder of the first half. And to the line will go Griffin. First free throw is good. Ramos back into the game for Mill Irons. Gets some help on the second attempt, but 2 for 2 on the trip. Prosser kicks it back over to DeBuck. Ball is lost. Stroudsburg comes up with it.
You got to go right here. You got numbers. Standing in. There you go. You got to advance it against this team.
Ramos finds Morton. Kicks it back over for Griffin. They go down low. Foul going to be called on Gannon's number 12, Lane Sarver. That will send Carson Howard to the line to shoot 2. Howard hits his first. Stroudsburg trying to build their lead once again. Ernest Shelton back into the ball game, taking the place of Lane Sarver.
Yeah, these are going to be a big couple possessions for both sides. We saw in the first game what a couple made shots did for Virginia State going into the halftime break. It's a very big 2.5 minutes for both teams here.
Prosser takes this one, crossing the timeline.
That's a great
nice
pass.
Dish. Goodrick, the two-handed slam.
Yeah, when he gets into the middle of the lane, he's as good as anybody I've seen this year.
Ramos saves this one, and so does Carson Howard. A big moment there for Stroudsburg to keep some momentum. Cam Young, top of the key, hands it off. Morton gets a screen set by Howard. Working against Goodrick, driving right side, no good. Going to be rebounded by Gannon. Here comes Prosser. Behind the back, I think off his own heel, but it all works out in the end.
That pass didn't really work out for him, but I don't think I've seen him make a wrong decision one time with the ball in his hands attacking the rim.
Travel called made on Griffin. Possession right back to Gannon, and it is a one-possession game. 37-34 in favor of Stroudsburg. Will be DeBuck.
One possession game. It hasn't been that for a while for Gannon. They were once down about 10 or 12 points. They've just done a great job clawing back, and they could tie the ball game this possession.
Hands it off to DeBuck. Puts it up from the elbow and good.
That's a great floater.
His first points.
That's a great floater. That's a floater you can tell he has worked on many times. He tries to draw the foul there. I think a good no call by the refs. East Stroudsburg's got to slow down. They're so sped up right now, playing to the pace Gannon wants them to. He's forcing up some really bad shots, back-to-back possessions. Gannon has a chance to take the lead right here.
Here comes the buck. Makes a little move on Morton from the elbow. Gets the roll and the lead for Gannon.
Got a 2-for-1 opportunity right now for East Stroudsburg. I think you got to take it. Don't think they're going to end up getting it. They're going to throw the ball away.
Ball off the mark, intended for Cam Young. A substitution will be made. Evan Morton catches a breather, is back in. Number 15, Shamar Wilbanks. The buck for Gannon. I'd say with about an 8-second difference between shot and game clock. Prosser. Gonna use Goodrick here. Prosser finds trouble, dishes it back for a 3, off the mark. Rebounded by Stroudsburg, 5 seconds left in the half. Has to move if he wants to get there. And there's not going to be a shot attempted. That will be the end of the first half. And if you can believe it, Gannon has that 1-point lead, 38-37, in a very back and forth first half.
Yeah, Gannon led this out of the entire half. Gannon led just over a single minute until the last 45 seconds where they end up pulling away. Very impressive first half from Gannon, just sticking with it. Really controlled the pace of the play at the end of that half. Very impressed. Interested to see how this second half goes.
Yeah, great back and forth first 20 minutes. It will be halftime. We will take a quick break. We will have some halftime stats for you when we return on Topper Station. Welcome back to the ASRC. It is still halftime here. A 1-point ball game where it felt like East Stroudsburg led almost the entire first half. But then at the end, Gannon was able to get a bucket and take the lead into halftime after the first 20 minutes. We take a look at some of the stats here. Fairly even except for the free throws and the three-point percentage as well. But the turnovers in favor of Gannon, forcing 14 against Stroudsburg in that first half. Gannon had 9. The assists are pretty even, 8 to 6. Rebounds pretty even as well.
Yeah.
But just some of the shooting percentage, and it kind of seemed like just early in that ball game, or early in the first 20, Gannon was just off the mark a little bit.
Yeah, Gannon was at 1.5 of 25 from the field. The reason the numbers are so skewed and they both look like they're shooting so low is because they are. But what other people aren't seeing is Gannon has about 10 to 12 more field goal attempts than East Stroudsburg. East Stroudsburg closed the first half, very sloppy, while Gannon seemed to be ramping up in their pressure and their offensive consistency. Be very interested to see how these first few minutes start this half. The turnovers are something to keep an eye on, and East Stroudsburg starting to pile up. 14. You do not want to be on pace for 30 turnovers, which they are very close on here. You're not going to win a lot of games on pace for 30 turnovers.
Yeah, it sure looked like I'm not saying East Stroudsburg's done yet by any means, but it sure looked like the momentum was picking up for Gannon.
Oh, yeah.
As that end of that first half started going. I believe we have a sideline hit with our student sideline reporter, Caden Bednarik, as we're getting set up. Oh, maybe we don't. Okay, hang on a second. We got about a minute before.
Yeah, she's still hanging out over there, getting
before
situated.
The second half starts.
One thing I do want to note is East Stroudsburg started to get into some sloppy foul trouble at the end of that first half. A couple of their key players picked up 2 fouls. You know, a couple fouls here and there to start the second half could really change the pace of this game. Somebody I was really impressed was number 2 for East Stroudsburg. Just a physical presence down there, going to the rim. I would get him the ball as much as possible, as he's a really tough matchup for those guys over there in the white. But as we just said, Gannon seemed to be really ramping up. At one point, they were 6 for 6 from the free throw line, went on to finish the half 1 of 5. That's why they're shooting just 62% from the free throw line. Gannon's all over the place, though. East Stroudsburg, though, comfortable playing slow, comfortable playing at this low-scoring level, 38-37. You tell East Stroudsburg at half, that's the score. They're really happy with that. So, you know, a lot of good positives from both sides to take away. Be interested to see what adjustments are made both sides.
Yeah, it will be fun to watch this final 20 minutes. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn here saying the final 20. We never know.
Maybe we get more.
Yeah, we might get some extra time in this one. And unfortunately, we won't get to do a broadcast on St. Patrick's Day, but it's kind of falling in line with exactly what happened years ago when East Stroudsburg hosted. West Liberty ended up winning that one. And in that year, West Liberty went all the way to the national title game. But that was a year we went out to help broadcast, got to go to New York City on our day off.
I mean, you can't complain with that.
Are they going to go to Pittsburgh, you think?
Maybe. I mean, depends on which side of the hill that hotel's on.
Well, McAlooey trying to get a defensive board here as Gannon has the 3-point lead. They're going to say timeout by Stroudsburg and give them possession.
Yeah, that's a tough one considering they're just going to have 2 timeouts left for the remainder of the game. It's a tough one.
We will send this they stretch it to immediate break. We will take the timeout and come right back. Caden Bednarik coming up after the break on Topper Station.
Welcome to Bluefield State, where big opportunities thrive within our small, caring community. Here we guard the hill every day. Professors who champion your goals, hands-on learning that shapes futures, and a campus family invested in every chapter of your story. You'll receive the personalized attention and support needed to turn aspirations into achievements. Join us where mountains meet momentum and watch how far a college that truly knows you can take you.
Balance. It isn't just essential in your sport, it's essential in life, especially college life. It's everything you need to thrive in school, in sport, and everything in between. The key is just finding a place where you can pursue it all, because the real beauty lies in the balance. If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
Welcome back to the ASRC. Our student broadcaster, Caden Bednarik, has a sideline report. Caden, take it away.
It's been an intense first half here. The postseason award for these two teams were given to Tasman Goodrick and Ernest Shelton from Gannon University for PSAC Western Division first team. Pace Prozier from Gannon is on PSAC Western Division second team, and he was also the PSAC tournament MVP. For East Stroudsburg, Cam Young is the PSAC Eastern Division Defensive Player of the Year. Lakeem McAlilly and Cam Young are on the PSAC Eastern Division first team, and Evan Morton is the PSAC Eastern Division Freshman of the Year. With Gannon University in the lead 38-37, I'm sure we'll continue to see the intensity going into the second half, so stay tuned.
And thank you for that info, Caden. Again, a lot of good awards for all these teams and individual players. And it looks like Gannon is really coming alive here to start the second half.
Yeah, a couple adjustments. They threw Posner into the starting 5. And for East Stroudsburg, they threw number 2 into the starting lineup as well for them. So a couple of chess moves from each coaching staffs. Interested to see how it looks, but so far Gannon's coming out on fire.
No good off the glass, rebounded by Goodrick. Here comes DeBuck. Right side of the lane, dishes inside Goodrick there. Bucket's no good, but the foul coming up on McAlilly.
It's going to be McAlilly's third. It's tough. It's been a factor this game, but as I said earlier, the only person stopping him this game would be himself getting into foul trouble. Looks like that's the case so far. He's getting into foul trouble. He's going to have to go to the bench here just a minute and a half into the second half.
Goodrick struggling from the line to start this game. Hits that one. Bennett back into the game for DeBuck. McAlilly will be replaced by number 22, Carson Howard. Goodrick 1 for 2. Howard the board. Cam Young dishes it over to Morton. Morton right side back to Cam Young. Mill irons to Morton in the corner. Can't get it to go. Goodrick the board. Oh, they wanted a walk on Goodrick. Didn't get it. Bennett dishes it off. Thought we were going to see a highlight play from Shelton. And all we did. Nice little take to the bucket.
Yeah, Carson Howard, the big here from East Stroudsburg's really struggled having a guard in space today. Not really being much of a factor, too, in this press break, just hanging out underneath the rim. He's going to have to pick it up, especially with McAlilly going to the bench for an extended amount of time, more than likely. Something to watch because East Stroudsburg, not the biggest team out here right now.
Yeah. Young gets to the bucket. Shot is blocked. Right on cue as you say that. Bennett leading the charge. Alley-oop for Goodrick. Bucket is good. And one coming up. They call that on Jalen Pichardo. Sakasi back into the ball game for Gannon, taking the place of Prosser.
Yeah, Gannon kind of getting to what they want right now, getting easy looks down low, running in transition.
Goodrick converts the and one. Catching a breather, Ernest Shelton back into the ball game. Lane Sarver.
It really puts East Stroudsburg at a tough spot too with that timeout. Just a minute into the half, because if you call one now for East Stroudsburg, you're just left with one for the entire game. Really kind of put yourself in a bad spot here, especially on this run that Gannon's going on.
Bucket is good, and one coming up for Mill Irons.
That's right on cue for them. That's just what the doctor ordered. It's what they needed right there. Kill this momentum Gannon has going. Nothing better to kill some momentum than a 4-point play.
And we've seen it quite a bit in the games that we've called throughout the season. Just a team being able, we take another look at this. Mill Irons definitely fouled and is able to convert the 4-point play, 48-41. Mill Irons doing his part to try to get back into this one.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg's trying to go with a similar style of press. Gannon goes against us every single day probably in practice, so there's a reason why it's not been very effective in terms of turning the ball over.
Howard gets the bucket.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg kind of getting in a rhythm now. Was a 10-point ball game. They got to cut back down. You got to find shooters, though.
And Sarver hits a big 3 to answer. And a timeout called, a 30-second timeout called by Gannon. So it will just be a 30. It will not be stretched. Gannon leads it by 8, 51-43, and quite a turn of what it looked like in that first half again. The largest lead for East Stroudsburg in that first half was about the 13-minute mark, led by 12.
Yeah, I just feel like East Stroudsburg, don't get me wrong, 100% into this ball game. Just seems like all the momentum, though, is kind of flowing towards Gannon. They just seem a little bit faster out there. The buckets they're getting are a little bit easier. East Stroudsburg, though, is a very well-coached team, very disciplined. I'm sure that head coach has been here plenty of times. I'm sure they were here earlier in the year in their first ball game that finished in a 13-point loss. So familiar territory, as much as I don't want to say it probably for East Stroudsburg. You know, love to see what this coach has coming out of this timeout.
Terrell Pitts tried to come back in. He's going to have to wait until the next stoppage. 16:35 left to play. Gannon up by 8, 51-43. Morton trapped, picks up the dribble, finds Cam Young.
They got to get it across.
1 second, and 10-second call is made. The second time tonight. Or was that in the first game? Am I losing my mind already?
No, that's the second time. Now your mind's still intact as of now. Give it another game or two.
We're only a game and a half in, and I'm already worried about it.
Yeah, but East Stroudsburg, that press break's just really not going to cut it. And, folks, I'm not just saying this. I'm speaking from experience, playing on a team who did this exact same thing. You can't clear it out when you have a double team going at you. If they're going to have even a decent trap and you just want to clear out, that's not ever going to work. You got to send some people through the lane. You got to get some help for this point guard.
Goodrick able to get the bucket off the glass, makes it a 10-point ball game. Mill Irons inside. Howard is there. He's going to be fouled. Who do they give this to? He's got it on Prosser. It'll be his first. Team second. Both team with 2 fouls. Morton on the baseline looking for somebody. Finds Howard. Shot is blocked. Goodrick there to pick up the mess. Bennett makes a little move. No good. Howard gets the rebound for East Stroudsburg. Lobs it out for Mill Irons.
This is where you take the numbers.
Pichardo peels back. Mill Irons to Morton. Morton dishes this one off to Pitts. Mill Irons again looking for somebody. Mill Irons, 3. Off the mark. Rebounded by Victor Desmond.
I like that look, though, for East Stroudsburg, especially with him just hitting one.
Prosser airballs this one out of bounds. And with that stoppage, it will be a media timeout. 53-43, 10-point ball game. Gannon leads. We'll be right back on Topper Station.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
And welcome back to the ASRC. We've got Caden Bednarik with the hit. Caden, take it away.
Gannon is making its 27th appearance in the NCAA tournament and has won 5 regional championships to advance to the Elite 8. Head coach Jeff Wilson of East Stroudsburg has guided the Warriors to their 8th NCAA tournament appearance during his tenure. He looks to lead ESU to its 2nd NCAA Atlantic Region Championship after securing the program's first title in 2018.
Thank you, Caden. And Coach Wilson has done a great job at East Stroudsburg over the years for a long time. I feel like every single year they're in this Atlantic Region tournament. And we talked about a little while ago, the last time, I believe it was the last time they hosted, or at least last time I was there when they hosted. We got to go to New York City because of it, so I got to thank them. It's the only time I've been there in my life. Missed there. Mill Irons can't get it to fall. Tipped around still, and it's taken by Gannon. Quickly up. Sarver dishes. Gets it back. Give him room to shoot the 3. Can't get it to fall. It's going to be rebounded.
You can't run away if you're East Stroudsburg.
Pass off the mark and over the head of Mill Irons, thrown away. McAlily back into the ball game for East Stroudsburg. So is Jaden Kelly. Prosser back into the game for Bennett.
For as well as East Stroudsburg handled that press initially when this game started, you just really tell it kind of just worn down as the game has gone on. The press breaks got a lot of standing and watching. It looks like some of these guys want no part of it, so they just run to the other side of the floor. 10-point ball game right now. Everything kind of pointing Gannon's way. East Stroudsburg's got to sit down and play some defense.
An offensive foul going to be called against Mason Kemp. An illegal screen. It'll be his first, team third. Evan Morton back in for East Stroudsburg. Ernest Shelton back in for Gannon. Morton beats the press. Gets to the paint, loses his footing and the ball. And I think they're saying last touched by Gannon, so Stroudsburg, I'm sorry. Yeah, it will be Gannon, East Stroudsburg possession. McAlily gets them to wipe the floor up a little bit in the low post.
That's where he's going to be, so he needs to make sure it's all right down there so he can make his moves effectively. I think this is a big 3 minutes here from East Stroudsburg. Feels like the game's kind of teetering right now. They need to get in some good actions offensively. Get some easy looks for themselves.
Morton's pass is stolen by Goodrick. Prosser flying. Puts it up. He hits the ground, no good, but he's going to be fouled. And they give this one to Jaden Kelly, number 14. It'll be his second, team third. And Prosser back to the line. No good on the first. Second one does go, 1 of 2, 11-point lead. Lob it up, and it's almost stolen away. Pitt's able to save it deep. 3 off the mark. It's going to be rebounded by Gannon Shelton. Up for Goodrick. Dishes it off to Prosser. Baseline booted away by Nasir Griffin.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg fortunate to get that kick ball there because might have been a Tasman slam. It's going to be a perfect pocket pass to the roller going to the middle of the lane. Anytime you drive baseline, it's so important to have that big run into the center of the lane. More times than not, he's wide open.
DeBuck, mid-range jumper falls. Morton dishes it over to McAlily, quickly up. Pitts working against Sarver. McAlily down low, puts it up with the right hand, no good. Offensive board, tries it again, no good. But he's going to be fouled. Give this foul to Ernest Shelton. It'll be his first. No good on the first. Second one goes. Griffin able to make 1 of 2. Prosser up to Goodrick. Goodrick dishes this one off to Sarver from the elbow. McAlily in his face, airballs it, saved. It's still bouncing around. Sarver somehow saves this one back, continues to. DeBuck's pass is tipped. The shot is no good. Now an defensive foul. We're going to call this on DeBuck. It'll be the first on DeBuck.
Yeah, Gannon wants an elbow to the head, but you got to give him room to move.
I'm sorry, that'll be his fifth team foul, so 4th on DeBuck. Bennett will come back in for DeBuck. Now the officials come together, tell the teams to go to the bench. We're going to have a conversation here. We're going to take a look at this, I believe. So in the postseason, Division II, we are allowed to have replays. Usually in the regular season, we do not, but postseason, want to try to get the call right. And the discussion here with the officials, we'll see if they come to the table. They do. And they're going to take another look here. And it's going to be potential, looking for the potential of a flagrant foul. We've had a great crew today so far for the folks that have been watching. We've got our engineer and producer, Teresa Gretchen, our director, Trent Nicholson, floor cam students, Grace Yoder, and tight cam and master control, Taylor Marty, Caden Bednarik, our student sideline reporter. You've met her, and Brody Wall, our wide camera as well. A big thanks and shout out to the folks helping us out, making sure this broadcast gets out to everyone at home.
Still discussing it a little bit over here. Looked a little bit just like a bang-bang play, but, you know, there's a reason why we have a review once we hit that MEC, any conference championship, going into the regional championships. It's for plays like this. And kudos to the refs for recognizing that and coming over and reviewing it.
So it will just stay a common foul against Justin DeBuck. Nothing extra. We take another look here. And no, nothing there. Nothing too insane as we take another good look here.
That's a good angle. Shout out to the camera crew right here. A little bit of a bang-bang. Good flop job, too.
And we'll shout out another sport here. And volleyball. We got a volleyball player on the floor cam. McAlily launches this one up for Griffin to get the easy bucket. Grace Yoder on the West Liberty volleyball team.
Both fans really getting into this. Yeah. Both head coaches became very vocal. You can tell this is a very important part of the game right here for both sides.
Goodrick on the pick and roll. Gets it on the roll. 58-46 Goodrick. 19 points today. Morton trying to beat the double teams. Got 3 seconds and does. Morton and Goodrick at the top of the key. Mismatch. Pump fakes. Kicks it back down low for McAlily. Has to go get it. Shot is blocked by Goodrick. And Gannon takes over.
Yeah, East Stroudsburg's getting nothing easy.
Goodrick on the other end trying to get a bucket. He is fouled. They give this one to Terrell Pitts, number 0. Back onto the floor. It's Cam Young and Ethan Millirons, but this will be the media timeout. We'll take a break and come back for more on Topper Station.
Some billionaire just shot himself into outer space in his own rocket ship. The combustion engine will become irrelevant. Robots are becoming more and more human. There is currently more data than we have the ability to comprehend. Anything really can happen. Fayetteville State University.
I teach the art of fanology, a job I take seriously. As to the question of nature versus nurture, is a fan born or is a fan made? I know this. Our game can make a fan out of anyone. And at Fandom U, we take it to a whole new level. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
And welcome back to the ASRC. Game 2 of the Atlantic Region Championship. Virginia State moves on after the first game this afternoon. Right now, Gannon is up 12 with 11.5 minutes left to play. The winner of this game will play Virginia State tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The games tomorrow are at 5 and 7:30. The games in the second session today are at 6 and 8:30. So after this game, we will take a little break. And it'll be West Liberty and Bluefield State at 6 o'clock tonight. Goodrick misses the first.
If there's been anybody to foul on this Gannon team, it has been Tasman Goodrick. He's now 6 of 12 from the free throw line, just shooting 50%. So he's been a force inside. Not a bad idea to just keep fouling him.
Gets this one to go after missing the first, 1 of 2. Millirons to throw this one in. Goes to Morton, working against Prosser.
Got to have options in this press. You got to make that first pass, and you got to be ready to go. Usually once you make that first pass, you only got about 5 seconds to get it across.
Young goes inside to McAlily. Bucket's good, and 1 coming up for McAlily.
Jeff Wilson, that just shows 22 seasons of coaching right there. He knew exactly where he wanted to go coming out of that timeout. Got exactly what he wanted. Got the result he wanted. Sometimes it pays to have a coach like that, and it's honestly very interesting and very cool, in my opinion, to see a first-year head coach up against a coach who's in his 22nd year. Couldn't get any more polar opposite. I'm sure much respect between the two of them as well. It's been really fun to see this chess match.
McAlily unable to convert. Steals the ball away here, quickly up to McAlily. Makes the move, can't get the bucket, but he's fouled again, and he goes back to the line. They give the foul to Victor Desmond. It'll be his 3rd, team 7th. And right now, 17 fouls on Gannon, 4 on East Stroudsburg. McAlilly hits his first.
It's been an absolute dogfight, both of these games. This one's right up there with that first one. Just shout out to the officials again for being able to keep this game under control the way they have been.
2 for 2 on that trip. The officials have done a great job in this game so far. Prosser tries to beat the double team, kicks it back. Inside to Goodrick. And good off the glass.
Just too easy for him in there. He's just getting everything he wants. It's all you can eat for him down there right now.
And look at the passing there. Goodrick with the huge two-handed slam. McAlilly in the corner, looking for somewhere, just lobs it up, and it's right in front of us. Stolen away by Gannon's Ernest Shelton. Prosser with 10.5 to play. Shelton straight away 3, no good. Goodrick, an offensive board, put back, no good. Tip in does go for Desmond, but they say no go. They call the foul on Desmond. And I believe that may be his 4th. Eighth team foul on Gannon. Take another look at Goodrick's two-handed dunk there after the steal on the press. So to the line to shoot. Pichardo, no good. The drive here. Good, and one coming up for Prosser. And they give that foul to Cam Young.
Yeah, Prosser, I think, has been probably the most impressive player, in my opinion, today for him. He's always in control, always doing the right thing. He's taking a lot of contact the entire time. As you can see at the replay, couple pump fakes, taking the contact, finishing through the foul on the arm. Folks, there's a reason he was tournament MVP. There was a reason he was second team All-PSAC. And for a team that plays 10, 11, 12 guys, we've seen from years past how hard it is to get some of those guys that should be there on another team. They'd be their best player.
Yeah.
You know, Prosser's one of those guys. If he was on any other team, the PSAC, probably by far and away their best player. It's been really impressive.
This pass off the mark, but taken by Howard, saved. Baseline drive, reverse is good. Give that one to Cam Young.
Yeah, it stops bleeding a little bit for him.
66-52 in favor of Gannon. 9:45. Sarver lays it off to Goodrick. Gets the bucket.
It's just been way too easy. Goodrick hasn't had to make any moves. He hasn't had to show his shooting capabilities. He's just been living right there on that right block all game long.
Morton gets the screen from Howard. Tries to drive, has to step back, goes baseline.
Just nothing there for him.
Lobs it out to Sarver. Prosser gets the finish, and one coming up. And again, they call the foul on Cam Young. Substitution here for Gannon. Goodrick catch a well-deserved breather as Mason Kemp is back into this ball game. McAlilly will return as well for East Stroudsburg, but I believe this will be
Prosner. He has just been playing unbelievable. The Euro step, he knew what he was doing from 5 dribbles away. Able to execute and take the contact once again, stay under control. It's not a tough play, folks. Not an easy play, but he does make it look easy.
And we've got an injured player for East Stroudsburg down at, if you're watching this, the left of your screen behind the bucket. And since he is off the floor and I guess far enough away from the floor, it's okay and we can play. And I'm trying to take a look to see what player it is, but we can't see what number. I believe we're going to take a replay of this, or the officials are going to take a look and see what happened. And it looks like it's Jalen Pichardo for East Stroudsburg. Hopefully he is okay. Down by 18 points right now with 9:16 to play. And they're fighting for their season.
Yeah, I believe he was the one who committed the foul. It's a little dangerous area down there when you're hitting against the pad. He took contact from the foul initially. Hope he's okay. Hopefully it's just a stinger, a hip stinger, as he did give away a blocking foul, but we definitely all hope he's okay. We have the referees over here reviewing something as well. If you're East Stroudsburg, you hate to see one of your guys down, but you're getting a much-needed break to stop the bleeding. The game has been getting out of hand for them. It went from a 6-point game to an 18-point game very quickly. And like I mentioned earlier, those timeouts were really hurting them. They weren't able to call a timeout this entire stretch. Something you look back on that might have changed the game for them. It's a much-needed break for them. If they're going to make a run, it's got to have to be after this stoppage of play.
Well, we're starting to hear the crowd applause, so I really hope that means Jalen Pichardo is okay and able to get back to the bench, and it looks like he's all right.
He's all right. He's all right.
We'll get back to shooting some free throws for Pace Prosser.
Good to see.
Prosser able to convert the and one. McAlily will throw this in.
If you're East Stroudsburg, got to get the ball out faster here. You're letting Gannon get into their system.
Cammy Young almost gets it to fall. Can't believe that didn't drop. And they give the foul to Mason Kemp. His second. Team ninth. Young's first attempt, no good.
Cam Young, an Eastern Division first-team player for East Stroudsburg, trying to find some rhythm here in this game. Been blanketed most of the night by the good Gannon defense.
1 of 2 for that trip. Prosser flying, running people over. Offensive foul going to be called on Prosser, as Carson Howard did a good job to take the charge.
Yeah, it's probably the first time all night he's made the wrong decision in transition. He's hot. I don't blame him. He looked like he had one thing on his mind right there, and it was to score that basketball. Sometimes you got to slow down. The game is almost in the bag for them. Last thing you want to do is start doing some silly stuff, letting it back into the game.
Morton running with Sarver, puts it up and good, and a foul. So Lane Sarver picks up his third. Morton converts. He's got 11 points so far in this game. Prosser gets a screen set by Kemp. Dishes it off right side. Puts it up and good. Ernest Shelton. Quickly up. Cam Young gets the finish. Back and forth.
Yeah, it's a good job. You got to get the ball out quick. Even if you don't throw it long, getting it out quick keeps them from setting it up. Got to do more of that if they want to come back.
Prosser's three is good.
He's feeling it right now, especially in the second half.
Howard hands it off to McAlilly like he's a running back. Milliron's three, no good. Rebounded by Kemp, and now a travel call is made, and the Warriors get possession right back. So Morton from the baseline looking, finds Millirons, back out to Howard.
If you're Stroudsburg, you're going to need somebody to hit some shots here soon for him. That's off.
McAlilly off the mark, out of bounds. Possession will go back to Gannon, and the media timeout will take place. 76-58 in favor of Gannon, 7:56 to play. We'll be right back on Topper Station.
Fairmont State University is a great place. A cozy campus surrounded by nature and outdoor adventure. An authentic school filled with friendly people who are down to earth. People who roll up their sleeves, help each other out, get stuff done, and have fun doing it. That's what makes Fairmont State such a great place. It's a great place to make friends for life and a great place to soar. Learn more at fairmontstate.edu.
Welcome back to the ASRCs. We take a look at Gannon's bench. As of right now, 8 minutes to play, up by 18. Not too shabby. They look to be in a pretty good spot to try to get to tomorrow's semifinal. Again, the winner of this one will take on Virginia State, who won earlier today. We got another game. We got two more games coming up tonight at 6 and 8:30. It'll be West Liberty, top seed and host, taking on the 8th seed Bluefield State. And then Fairmont State and Fayetteville State after that. So Bennett working against Morton. Gets into the paint, pump fakes, finds Cap. Good with the right hand and slides and hits the floor very hard.
Yeah, that's one of those falls right there. I felt those time or two. Just going to hurt for a little bit, but I think he's all right. Just a little bit of a stinger, but he's all right. There he goes.
I think that's going to be the fourth foul on McAlilly. 7th team foul. So now Gannon is in the bonus.
That's one of those where it's almost more of a scarier fall than it is it hurting, because it never feels good getting your legs taken out from underneath you when you're in the air. So glad he's all right, but he's going to feel that the rest of the tournament, I'll tell you that much.
Kemp hits it and converts. McAlilly hands it off. Young trying to drive, dishes this one, but it's picked off by Prosser.
Yeah, Cam Young's been having a tough go this game. Just not much there in the lane for him.
Bennett hits a big three. Quickly up to Cam Young, but it's going to be stolen by Kemp. Back quickly up to Shelton.
Yeah, the second half has been all Gannon.
3-point shot, no good. Rebounded, though, by Shelton. Bucket is up and good. 84-58, just like that, folks. That's what this Gannon team can do. Bucket is good for Morton, and one coming up. Give that foul to Mason Bennett. That'll be his second.
For you, Stroudsburg, right here, you got to tell yourself, if we can get it to 10 points, around 2.5, 3 minutes left, that gives ourselves a chance here. But the way Gannon's just been shooting this ball, It's really tough to justify that, shooting 65% in the second half and over 40% from three. East Stroudsburg is going to have to really sit down and guard and score the ball, but if they're going to do anything, folks, it's going to have to be in these next about 3 minutes. And then I fully expect Gannon to start looking ahead to next game and maybe resting some of these other guys.
Justin DeBuck back into the ball game, taking the place of Prosser. Sarver backing his man down, dishes it out. DeBuck with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Has to go to Bennett. He drives, puts it up from the middle of the lane, no good. Makalili the board, quickly up.
Got to be ready to shoot.
Ramos three, no good. Sarver gets the board. We'll see the strategy. The baseline jumper is good and one. And it looked like, sure looked like the bench of Gannon and Coach Bozzoli was trying to tell him to slow things down here and take your time on this possession, but the bucket and one, why not?
Yeah, Gannon averaging 90 points per game this year. Well on their way to blow through that with 6 minutes left in this ball game.
No good. Almost got the putback, but
block.
Travel call is made on Sarver.
Bit of a bang-bang play there. I like that call, though, from the officials. I like it.
Now back in Jaden Kelly, number 14 of East Stroudsburg. Morton will set it up again. Makalili working against Kemp. Now a foul away from the ball. Call that one on Bennett. That'll be his third. Griffin at the line, hits the first. Gets the second as well. DeBuck up to Bennett, and we'll see how much time Gannon takes on this possession.
Gannon taking their time.
Ooh, the dunk for Kemp. Makalili dishes it. Bucket is good. For Jaden Kelly, Makalili almost gets another steal. Shelton straight away, no good. Makalili the board, quickly up again. Kelly cannot get the finish this time. Now they call the foul on East Stroudsburg. They give this to Jaden Kelly. We take another look at the dunk. The big fella didn't get a ton of time in this ball game, but the time he did get, he made it useful.
Yeah, he's came along, played well. He struggled a little bit in the first half, but found his footing in this second half. I think obviously being up 20 always is going to help you get a little bit more comfortable in the game, where in the first half they were down 9 to 12 points, where he didn't play as great, but it's all positive signs for this Gannon team heading into the next game. Everybody's getting involved. Everybody's getting a score, getting some rebounds. And when you're a team that plays 10, 11, 12 guys, it helps even more when all 10, 11, 12 guys are feeling involved in the game plan.
Right now they're up big, 91-65.
Gannon fans, you would think it's a one-point game. They're loving it.
McAlily gets the bucket. He's up to 14.
Some of the better fans I've seen this year in terms of just cheering on their squad, very vocal.
Bennett thought about the three, back to Buck. Sarver driving in the paint. No good on the jumper. Rebounded by McAlily. 4:15 left to play. Morton needs to speed things up. McAlily in the paint, no good. Shelton there with some good defense. Bennett with the ball. Shelton three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Kelly.
Shelton's trying to find it. I think he's thinking the next game. He just wants to see a few go in before that next one. He's got a good stroke on him, though, and I remember him last year. He's a good shooter, good player for him, energy player for him. A little bit of a different role this year, more of a scorer.
McAlily's three, no good, but he's fouled by Bennett. So McAlily will shoot 3 free throws. And with that stoppage, I believe it will be a media timeout. We will take the break and come back for the final 3.5 minutes of this ball game on Topper Station.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Welcome back to the ASRC. A big lead here for the 2-seed Gannon, up 91-67 over 7-seeded East Stroudsburg. And in this game, it was very, I wouldn't even say close in the beginning. Stroudsburg had a 13-point lead at one point in the first half, and it looked like they were going to give Gannon everything they could handle in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, Gannon was down pretty much the entire first half. Took the lead late with about 55 seconds left, and they have absolutely not looked back since. I remember saying earlier those last 3 minutes going into half were going to be very big for that momentum into the second half, as we saw in the first game.
Yes.
And it has been all Gannon in this second half. They are outscoring East Stroudsburg by 23 points. And it was just a 1-point ball game going into halftime. So, Gannon's just been really impressive, and they're showing completely why they're the defending Atlantic Region champs and why they are the 2-seed in this tournament.
McAlily hits his last free throw, makes it 91-69. 16 points so far for McAlily. This is Sarver. And to miss one off. Back to Sarver. Stops at the baseline, has to go back to DeBuck. DeBuck with 5 to shoot, step back, long 2, no good. DeBuck gets his own rebound. Pass is going to be stolen by McAlily. He's going to hang on for a minute.
One thing I've noticed is Gannon does a really good job at trailing the guy driving baseline to always give him an outlet if it doesn't work out to turn around and pass it to.
Now, foul will be called on Gannon. Give this to Rocco Morabito, the 6'3" freshman guard from Philadelphia.
But yeah, every time Gannon has drove baseline, they've always had somebody trailing the ball handler, and that's exactly what you got to do. You got to give him an outlet. Last thing you want to do is leave him on an island there, because if that baseline isn't there, there's absolutely nobody to throw it to but the other team. So they do a really good job at trailing that ball handler, giving him an outlet to look back to. And we've seen them time and time again today. If they've gotten in trouble, they turn around, and sometimes they just throw it there before even looking, and there's been somebody there for them. So that just goes to the great coaching staff over there teaching these things to these kids. And it's been very impressive today to watch their offense, getting these isolated sides.
Straightaway three, good for Sarver.
And right there, Sarver was well on his way. If there was a drive, he was on his way to that wing. He just saw that there was no drive, so he stops at the top of the key, stops and pops, and he hits it. Been very impressive so far by this Gannon offense.
DeBuck from the elbow gets some help from the rim and the backboard. And a timeout called by Gannon. It'll be a full 60-second timeout. We will take a quick break and come right back for more on Topper Station.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Welcome back to the ASRC. 96-71 is the score in favor of Gannon, the 2 seed, with 2:06 left to play in this ball game. It sure looks like Elvis has just left the building. Morton dishes this one back out to Jaden Kelly, stolen away. Morabito gets into the paint, spinning, pump fakes, kicks it back out for 3, tips around and good. 3-point shot falls for Luke Sakasi.
I'll be very interested tomorrow to see how very contrasting styles of play between Gannon University and Virginia State University. One team almost plays like 90s ball, and they just want to pound it inside, play at the mid-range, pick and rolls, pick and pops to mid-range and the elbow. And you got Gannon who just wants to run and chuck and get you sped up and pressured. Virginia State looked pretty tired at the end of their game today. I'm sure they've watched that. They're no longer here. It'd be a heck of a game, and whoever controls the pace of that game, I think, has a really good shot at winning it.
Absolutely so. So, substitution here for Stroudsburg is, for Gannon, is set to come in. Marcus Robinson, a 6'3" freshman from New York. Kemp can't hit the first one. Sarver catches a breather. Kemp 0 of 2 on that trip. Morabito fighting for that board and gets it.
That pretty much describes the second half right there in a nutshell. Gannon just kind of knows for the ball. No matter who's out there in a white jersey, they seem to be on the ball.
Sakasi dishes it to Bennett. 3 to shoot, puts it up, no good. Howard the rebound for Stroudsburg. About a second and a half difference between game and shot clock. Not now. No shot clock as Morton hits a deep three. Give him 17, and as time will wind down, I do not believe Gannon will shoot. They'll stay at 99. Final score, 99-74 in favor of Gannon. And they move on to face off against Virginia State tomorrow night at 5 p.m. So a great year for East Stroudsburg Warriors. Coach Wilson and now Gannon continues to play on as they look to try to repeat at least what they did last year.
Yeah.
They'll have an opportunity in the semis tomorrow against CIAA champion Virginia State.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 conference champions, regular season and tournament. Like I just said earlier, I do think whoever controls the pace of play of this next game is going to take full advantage. Virginia State, very big physical team. Gannon, tall, not very wide, fast though. Be very excited to see how that game plays out tomorrow.
We've got Caden Bednarik, our student sideline reporter, with one more hit. Caden, take it away.
With the Gannon Golden Knights securing the win 99-74 and claiming their spot in the NCAA Atlantic Regional Championship semifinals tomorrow, we head into the third game of the day at 6 with West Liberty University and Bluefield State University getting ready to face off.
Thank you for that, Caden, and keep that camera down there because Gannon is coming back to the big board and marking that they're moving ahead to the semifinals to face off against Virginia State tomorrow night at 5 p.m. here at the ASRC and on Topper Station. So fans of both teams, remember that tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Virginia State, the 3 seed, takes on the 2 seed in Gannon at 5 p.m. at the ASRC tomorrow night. Well, for Chaz Hines, I am Todd Allum. I want to thank Teresa Gretchen, our engineer and producer, Trent Nicholson, our director, Grace Yoder, our floor cam, Taylor Marty, tight cam and master control, and Caden Bednarik, our student sideline reporter, and Brody Wall, our wide camera. Thank you all very much for this first session of games, 2 games, and we will be back in just a little bit as the next game will start at 6 o'clock. It'll be West Liberty, as Caden said, taking on Bluefield State coming up in a little bit on Topper Station.